Hey everyone, welcome to Twisted Chamber. I'm Kat.
Hi, I'm Natasha.
Wow, welcome back everyone. Our little inmates are all back.
Yep, another episode. I hope that we're all ready.
Yes, I might be preoccupied as I have a puppy with me. We have Dot here. So she's very playful today, so she might be distracting me a little bit.
Last time she was so good though.
Yeah.
She sat by the fireplace and didn't make a single peep the whole recording.
Yeah. So today we might not be so lucky. So I'm gonna apologize now.
Definitely interested in everything we were setting up, nibbling, and it's just fun.
Yeah.
She's a cute puppy. She's cute.
It's so cute.
She's very cute.
She's so cute. That's right.
Very cute.
That's right. So if you guys watched our other videos, you know that we have an Instagram page. Go on to Twisted Chamber on Instagram and give us a follow and like our pictures, and we post stories and everything to do with weird things and horror. So just give us a like.
It's a little extension of this video as well. You kind of get to know us a bit better in like behind the scenes, and we'll have extra antidotes as well on there. So
yeah,
it's quite a good little creepy little page. We also have our email address, which is twistedchamber@yahoo.com. So if you want us to read something out, send it in. If you want to know something or you want us to research something, we can do whatever you guys want. This channel is for you and for us to
talk about weird things.
Stuff. That's what we do.
That's what we do.
That is exactly what we do.
Enjoy it.
We do enjoy it.
But we will have a parental advisory on this. Will we or will we not today?
I don't know. Maybe it would be advised to put a little parental advisory on, because it's not a real gruesome tale. It's very weird. My story is very weird. It's not entirely gruesome. There's some facts in it that I find freaky. And actually yesterday when I was doing my research and I was making sure I had everything, and I was rereading what I wrote and I was going through it, and I actually laid in bed last night thinking about how awful this would be. Like, it's one of those ones where I was just like, no, I don't even want it. Don't even come at me with any of this.
Oh, I'm interested.
All right. So are we ready?
Yep.
I shall begin.
Let's go.
So the story of Mary Reeser, the case of spontaneous human combustion.
You're kidding.
Like, I purposely didn't actually tell Kat what my story was going to be, because she's gonna have a good time with this one. I just know it. So the meaning of spontaneous combustion: a person bursts into flames due to a chemical reaction within the body.
Okay,
that's what happens if you spontaneously combust. So a couple of just want to find out just a couple of quick questions for Kat, just to find out where she's at with some of this scenario and what she thinks, and anybody else. How hot do you think it has to be for a human body to burn?
So I'm gonna say it has to be up to 250. If we have a fever, say you have a high fever, you're at 104.
But to flames, to burn the skin.
Oh my god, I don't know. 250.
So roughly between 670 and 810 degrees Fahrenheit. Burning up the place. So when you burn a body, this is really, I'm sorry, trigger warning. But when you burn a body, sometimes it takes a lot for the bones to burn. So when you burn a body in a fire, usually the body has the skeletal system left because it burns all the flesh. So how hot do you reckon it has to be for the bones to burn?
So I would say over 1,000 degrees.
Very good. 1,100 to 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay.
When a body is cremated, they cremate the body between 760 and 982 degrees Fahrenheit. There's another process that happens after they burn the body, but we don't talk about that.
Okay.
It's a bit morbid. So I just want you to keep those temperatures in mind.
Okay. All right. All the numbers.
All the numbers. We're here for
I'm here for the numbers.
Right then, so here we go. So Mary Hardy Reeser was born on March the 8th in Columbia, Pennsylvania. She was only 67 years old when she died. On July the 2nd, 1951, Mary had just said goodbye to her son, who had been visiting her for the day, and she sat down in her favourite chair and she closed her eyes for the last time. Early hours of the morning, Mary's landlord woke up to the smell of burning, but not really seeing a fire or anything anywhere else. She just put it down to maybe somebody was burning something outside, and she went straight back to sleep. She woke up in the morning and there wasn't really any smell of smoke, so the landlady went on about her business and she went downstairs to collect all the posts, and then she came back upstairs with Mary's post, went to Mary's front door, and when she started to smell smoke again. And then she noticed there were some scorch marks and some soot above Mary's door frame.
Above the door frame?
Above the door frame.
Okay.
Above the door frame. Mm-hmm. So she tried the door handle, and the door handle was too hot to touch. So she didn't know what to do. So she went and got one of the local builders that was building outside the apartment block. She went and got him, and they came in and he helped her open the door. And what they saw was enough to turn the strongest stomachs. It was both horrifying and weird at the same time. They found the cremated remains of Mary Reeser. Her skull had shrunk to the size of a teacup.
Like, if you're only listening to this, I am looking at her very strangely.
Yep, her skull had shrunk to the size of a teacup. Parts of her spine still remained, and her left foot and satin slipper was still there, unburnt and untouched. The rest of Mary had been completely cremated. But this case gets even more weirder. Just love this case, right? This case gets even more weirder. According to experts, Mary's body would have had to have burned at roughly 1,100 to 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit for roughly 3 to 4 hours for it to be left in the state that it was in. Mary's landlord smelt burning at around 4 a.m. in the morning, and she visited her door at roughly 8 a.m. in the morning. It's a 4-hour window. Okay, so just keep that in mind as well. Was that also long enough for Mary's bones to have been charred to ash? And when you think about flames and someone going up in flames, if it is roughly 3 to 4 hours, maybe she should still be on fire, maybe smouldering slightly, don't know. Even more strange was that the possibility of a 1,500 Fahrenheit fire burning in the apartment, and hardly any of it was damaged. In the corner,
Come on.
In the corner where the fire happened, the walls were not damaged. There was no scorch marks and there was no cracked paint. So when, I don't know whether sometimes in house fires and things, in the rooms where there's intense heat, the paint does crack because of the intensity of the heat. So you always get something. The upper walls and upper walls and ceiling were completely black with soot, but the lower half was not. Light switches, again, high up light switches, sorry.
No, I just can't believe the story.
Yeah.
But why? Right, I'm gonna pause this now. I'm gonna pause this, guys, and I'm gonna ask questions, right? Why is nothing in the house really burnt that much? If her bones and her head has now shrunk,
yep,
and her bones are cremated,
yep,
why is the rest of the house untouched?
Yeah, but also as well, it's weird because the science, they sent it to a science department in Pennsylvania. They sent loads of evidence there, and their fire and burns experts said that usually in the case of a fire and a person catching on fire, usually their head either swells up or it blows up. Her head shrunk. Her head shrunk to the size of a teacup. Like,
dude, yeah.
We're talking, a mug, a teacup. We're talking.
Well, what did they? Okay, keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
So the light switches were all melted, but the plug sockets on the bottom half of the floor were untouched and were still working. There were candles nearby on the windowsill. The wax had melted, but the wicks remained unburnt. Nothing burnt. So in my head, when I'm seeing this, I'm seeing a woman sat on her chair in flame. Oh, sorry. I'm very excited. Sat on her chair in flames, and just her, like that fast, like spontaneous combustion, like done. Yeah. So that's what I'm seeing. So nothing else in the vicinity was touched. There was also some newspapers, and paper is highly flammable, I would say.
Yeah.
And they were nearby, and also they never caught on fire. They were untouched, nothing on them. Close neighbors, her neighbors next door, you're talking a furnace, 1,500 degree heat fire, and nobody noticed. The neighbors didn't notice any heat, no smoke coming out from underneath the door, like nothing, absolutely nothing. They ruled out an electrical fire. They checked everything. Electrical fire was ruled out. Someone had said that she was a smoker. And this is an absolutely horrific scenario, and I hope that this never happens to anybody. But there is an effect that can happen to the human body called the wicker effect. And what that is if you say you are smoking a cigarette and you drop it on your clothes, you don't necessarily go up in flames, you smolder, and it slowly burns you, and it slowly burns your fat, and it uses your fat to keep the fire going. It's called the wicker effect.
So it uses our whale
It
blubber.
uses our whale blubber. You know what? Yeah. Some people are going to be burning for a
It's
while.
like we're our own candle.
Yes. Yeah, she weighed 170 pounds.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So she, if she was going to be a candle, she probably would have burnt for a little while.
Okay.
So that was another scenario. But they also sent samples of her furniture, the rug that she was on, some of the curtains surrounding areas, to find out if there was some kind of petrol or I don't know what you call it, like something to make a fire more, like something that's easily igniting. And they found a trace of absolutely nothing. There was the only thing they found was human fat on the rug. That was it.
Human fat
from her body where it was melted. Yes. Wow. So she. Yeah, and that to this day, her cause of death is unknown because they don't know.
Then why are they saying it's combustion?
Because scientists don't believe it's spontaneous combustion. It's not a proven fact. It's one of those things that people, there's been over 200 cases of people who spontaneously combusted. I mean, is it true? Is it true? You know what? Did she turn herself into a human candle? Did she spontaneously combust? What did she do? And one of the doctors who, Dr. Krogman, he was one of the scientists that looked at the case, and he said that this was the oddest case because normally when something is on fire or there is a fire, fires aren't easily contained. Fires are crazy. So if something is burning at 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit, you have flames, somebody is on fire, they're going to catch the sofa on fire, it's going to catch the rug on fire, the paper, the walls, the curtain, that whole apartment should have been ablaze. Yeah. And it was not. Just her and her foot. Her foot also. Her whole body was cremated, and the only thing that was left uncremated was her left foot, still in her unburned satin slipper. Nothing was burned.
It's just silence right now.
Nothing was burned. Literally nothing was burned. I just stretched my legs, sorry, thank you. Yeah. And actually, when I was doing my research, Dr. Krogman, he had a little saying at the end, and he said, they say the truth is stranger than fiction. And this case apparently proves it. I've never heard of anything like this.
Well, yeah, especially if her foot was still in her slippers, the poor thing.
Yeah.
The poor lady.
Yeah.
You know, what if she lit herself on fire though?
Yeah.
What if she had a robe that was super, super flammable?
Yes.
And it just lit her on fire, but I don't understand why her head shrunk.
I don't understand why.
What chemical was in her body that reacted?
But, and then also as well, when I think about spontaneous combustion and when you think about how sometimes bombs and stuff go on, now obviously I'm not an expert in things like this, but I often feel like maybe inside of her, the pressure was building so much that if it was spontaneous combustion, the chemicals inside your body react to each other. So when you're mixing something in a lab, in a I don't know, a test tube thing, you're mixing something, things are swirling around and you're having a reaction. So maybe the chemical reaction inside her made her head shrink and then she caught on fire.
Come on, no way. There can't be a chemical, but 200 cases, that is still,
It's still a lot.
it's still something.
It's one of those things that those 200 cases could have been spontaneous combustion because actually they don't know the cause of the fire because they've been in strange circumstances. It's not like a house fire where everything's exploded into flames and you know that's what caused it. It's more of a just a very isolated event in one small space that should have set fire to everything, and it didn't. Why?
What was this lady's background?
So she had a son, she was happily married, her son was visiting her that day, she was just a normal woman. She did have some painkillers in her system before that day, and she had said to her son, I believe at one point, she'd already taken 2 and she was going to take another 2 before she went to bed. So those were the only drugs that were actually known in her system. I don't believe she took the ones before bed because she didn't make it to bed, sadly, but she had the other 2 drugs because she told her son, I might take a couple more before I go to bed. She was a 60-something-year-old woman. She may have had some arthritis. I mean,
yeah, but what if she was taking also other medication and then she mixed all those chemicals because the doctors aren't paying attention to what people are on consistently. And then it had some kind of chemical reaction in her body. Oh my God, but could you imagine? It's like Beetlejuice getting your head shrunk, isn't it?
shrunken head. Yeah.
Shrunken head.
Yeah. It just
so scary.
Very scary.
I hope that never happens to me. I really hope that never happens.
I don't know whether
was she like burned like because she was possessed and like the demons burned her or something?
Could have been. I don't know there was any demonic background, but you know what?
Or was it like gang? Or they like put her in a stone box in the chair, but without her foot hanging out of it. Oh, the poor lady. Oh,
no. But no, I don't know. I'm a bit like, I don't know. It's just weird to me. And I don't know whether spontaneous, like I always believe in the strange because why shouldn't you? Like we believe in
and there's weird illnesses and gross things out there.
Everyone. And things happen and there are unexplained stuff everywhere. And you know what? We've just found a whole bunch of other galaxies. So who knows?
I know.
Like anything's possible. I always think anything is possible.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's crazy. Or was it aliens?
I hope it wasn't aliens.
I'm telling you.
I really hope it wasn't aliens.
Maybe like it was like Men in Black. She was an alien.
And they
just did that little
thing. It was on too high.
Yeah. Poor lady. I shouldn't laugh, but it is like that show, right? Remember that show, everyone, that was called 1,000 Ways to Die. It was the best
it
show
was a good
I've
show.
ever seen.
It was a
But it
good
was
show.
sad, like a lot of people dying in very odd, crazy ways.
Very odd.
We'll have to talk about that'll have to be an episode.
We'll have to do that.
That'll have to be an episode.
Yes,
Yeah.
it'll have to be an episode. Yes. Yeah. So
Well,
very
is
good.
that it?
No, I have a surprise for you.
We have a surprise.
I have a surprise.
What is it?
So I'm going to read you something that I wrote.
Oh, okay.
So I like writing little stories. So every now and again, guys, you may get a little horror story, little thing from me. And also, I quite like fancying and scaring Kat for a minute too. So I like to see if she's scared or not.
Wow, I'm not scared very easily, am I?
No, not scared very easily, which is why I'm constantly going to try.
Yeah.
So again, if you have any scary stories or anything that I can scare Kat with,
yeah,
please send them in.
Yeah.
Love to read them.
Yeah.
See if I can frighten her.
Yeah. Yeah, you can try,
but
it takes a while.
It's okay.
Let's do it.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Right. Everyone settle down, relax. Story time with Twisted Chamber. Okay, ready? Lucy didn't think she'd ever been this excited before. Well, maybe when she found out she was going to Disneyland, that was different. She was younger at the time and had no idea what a night alone would mean. Both her parents were going away for the night. Her older brother had already booked time away with his girlfriend, so her parents let her have a night on her own, alone. Lucy had movies for the night, chocolates, and a whole night of just her on the couch chilling out. And as soon as her parents closed the door, Lucy was excited. Lost my place. I do apologize.
And see, she's trying to scare me.
Right. Yeah, right, let's go to the next page. But tonight was all about her. She watched Supernatural all night, her favorite TV show, and one show that her mum would never let her watch. Her mum was always like, you can't watch shows like that. You'll be inviting bad energies into the house. Lucy had laughed so much, and never once had crossed her mind. All she was into was Dean Winchester. The night went on, and no matter how hard Lucy tried, she couldn't keep her eyes open anymore. So she stood, checked all the doors and windows, making sure that they were locked, and then she made her way up the dark staircase to her room. She paused slightly at the door when she wasn't sure what she saw out the corner of her eye, what made her pause. And all of a sudden, she had the need to get into her room and lock the door fast. So she did as her body demanded her to do. She locked the door behind her, breathing deep as she leant across the door, telling herself that she's alone in the house and there's no need for her to be scared. After taking a few deep breaths, she pushed off the door and started getting ready for bed. Climbing into bed, she rolled over to close her eyes and then had another feeling of panic rush over her. She got out of bed, went to her bedroom door, flicked the lock, put a chair in front of the door, climbed back into bed and took another deep breath, finally feeling safe and secure in her bed. As she turned over, she froze and her eyes went wide in fear as a thick, evil, dark voice whispered, "That's better. We're nice and safe now." The end.
See, now I'm like, it makes me laugh. It makes me laugh. I'm sorry.
See,
you know,
see what I'm working with here.
You know, I just think, hi guys. Oh, hello. You just wanted to say hello.
Oh
yeah.
Snuggle time.
He just wanted to go to sleep.
Wow.
You know, maybe he was a tired ghost.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Look, if I rolled over in my bed and I saw some other person laying there, yeah, I would be very
It
scared.
would be very scary.
But I know that's never going to happen. So,
well,
unless it's an actual, real, living, breathing mouth breather.
Well, even worse, right?
Yeah.
If it's a human. Even worse.
Hey, it would be the worst if it was a real, living human. Okay. Terrifying.
It would be
well, thank you
awful.
very much for your story,
You're welcome.
buddy.
I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try again. Again, guys, if you
Yeah.
can help me out, please email
Yeah.
twistedchamber@yahoo.com. Anything that you think could freak Kat out would be much appreciated.
It's never gonna happen, but
Because-
you guys can try.
You know,
You guys can try because that was. What did he say again? What did he say again?
oh, hold on. That's better. We're nice and safe now. Like, come on.
The guy. Look, I find that very sarcastic, right? Oh, good. You put a chair in front of your door. Good job, little kid. Good job.
Oh,
It's funny.
It is funny. Who knows what happened to her afterwards, though? What happened after?
I don't see. My brain doesn't go that far. My brain goes to that moment, and then it shuts off.
Done.
And then it's done. We're done because all I know is if it was me and that did happen, you better believe I'm getting the fuck out. I'm getting the fuck out. I am running out of that house.
Not quick though. You've just
See ya. Bye.
Against the door.
Oh, you know what? Do you know how quick it is to move a chair out of the way? She didn't even put a dresser drawer next to it.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I know.
Well,
Sorry.
that was fun.
That was fun.
I hope you guys enjoyed that.
Me too. I hope that you did. Again, let us know what you think about Mary. Did she spontaneously combust? Was she a human candle, or was it a very, very weird, unexplained fire?
Or unexplained death, period.
Because
or were the doctors hiding something? The pharmaceutical companies never trust them.
Yes.
Never trust them.
Never trust them. Exactly that.
Right
Yes.
then, guys. Well, have a good one, and see you next time.
We'll let you go this time, guys, but next time we might not be so lucky.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.